Hello all, welcome back. In this session, I'm going to talk about how to integrate DynamoDB with AWS Lambda function and how to fetch records which are there in S3 CSV file and then put that data into the DynamoDB. So here, I'm going to talk about how to set up a DynamoDB and set up a Lambda function and integrate your Lambda function with the DynamoDB. And after that, fetch a CSV file content from S3 and then insert that data into the DynamoDB. So take example of this one, and end user, if end user copy any CSV file content onto Amazon S3, and your Lambda function will be triggered automatically, and it will fetch all the data from the S3 CSV file, and that data it will automatically put it into DynamoDB. So let's go ahead and then create a DynamoDB. So here is my AWS management console. Go to services and type a DynamoDB, and inside this DynamoDB I'm going to create a table. Okay, so create a table. So DynamoDB complete details I already covered in my previous video. I have specified the link in the below description. You can go ahead and then check it. So here I'm giving the table name as TechHub_employees. Okay, employees, and then the primary key I'm using it as ID. So this primary key data type I can select a string, binary, or maybe a number. So for the timing I'm giving it as a string, and the rest of the parameters I'm leaving it as a blank. So and I'm not doing any additional settings on that. And now create a table. Now I have successfully created a DynamoDB table, and it will take a couple of seconds to create the table. So by that time, let's go ahead and then create a bucket, S3 bucket. So here, go to here and then type services and S3. Inside that, I'm using it as my bucket name is TechHub_bucket. Okay, create a bucket, but make sure that whenever you are performing any Lambda actions, so your bucket should be on the same region as your Lambda function. Okay, so here my bucket is in North Virginia and US East, and the bucket name I'm using it as a TechHub_bucket. Okay, and so we take a -bucket and create the bucket. Now I have created a bucket successfully. So then after that, I'm going to create a CSV file, and that CSV file I'm going to insert into inside this TechHub bucket. Okay. So before that, I need to create a Lambda function here. Okay. So let's put that CSV file here. So I have created a CSV file here. So inside my CSV file, so I kept 4 entries. Okay, these are the 4 entries, and it is ID and the name and the city of the user. So save this file, and I have saved this file as a employees.csv file. Now I'm uploading that file into inside a TechHub bucket. Okay, choose a file, employees.csv, and then upload that. Okay, so far I haven't created any Lambda function, that's why it will not trigger anything. So now it's time to create a Lambda function, and you can go to services and search the Lambda function. So while creating this Lambda function, the platform you can choose anything. If you are comfortable with the Node.js, you can go ahead and then create a script using a Node.js. And if you are familiar with the Python, you can go ahead and then create a script for Python. So here I'm using it as CSV underscore S3 underscore DynamoDB is my Lambda function. And the runtime I'm choosing it as the following technologies it will support. Okay, I'm choosing it as a Python 3.6 or 3.7. Based on your requirement, you can choose it. And these permissions are very important here. So either you could create a permissions dynamically at the runtime, and the second option is that you can create and you can choose the existing role. So here I'm choosing existing role. So I have created a role with admin access. So because I want to read, I want to insert the data into the DynamoDB at the same time I want to read the data from the S3. So that's why I have created a role called admin role, which have a full access. But from your side, you can make sure that so it will support only the admin DynamoDB level permissions, and S3 level read permissions. You can use it. Okay. So now go ahead and then save the changes. So now I created a Lambda function here. So once the Lambda function is created, so by default, which have the default return type. So on this return type, I can add the additional code in order to read the CSV file, and that CSV file content I can put it onto the inside the DynamoDB. So here I can go ahead and then you can check that. Okay, so here is the default available Lambda function code. You can read the CSV file content. Okay, so there is a Boto3, which is a Python AWS SDK. With the help of that, you can manage and you can do the stuff for the AWS resources using the Python. So I can use the library called the Boto3. Okay, so and after that, so what I'm going to do here, S3 client, I'm creating the variable S3 client and the Boto3.client. So here I'm using it as S3. So similarly, you can use it for the EC2, or you can use it for that DynamoDB and any other EC2, any other AWS resources you can specify on that. So then after that, what I'm going to do here, so here I'm going to read CSV file content, which is there inside S3. So here I'm specifying it as a bucket name. Okay, the bucket name, first of all, I'm getting it from the system. Okay, so here inside the records. Okay, and that records, so and so you can find that. Okay, so if required, maybe you can click on the test and inside this test, and you can put S3 and put. So here you can find that. Okay, this is the default request object for the S3 put object. Okay, for that inside there is a records. So inside that records, and again you can go through 0th index, and you can go through S3, and you can find the name of the bucket. Okay, so similarly you can find the object name. That means that, okay, so name of the your file name. So I'm following the same approach here. So I'm reading the records. So once the records are read, so then I can go to the 0th index, and inside the 0th index, okay, I can find the S3, and inside the S3, so I'm going to find the bucket, and inside a bucket I'm going to find the name of the bucket. Okay, so once my bucket name is available, okay, so then next I can file the file name. Okay, is the way you can find the S3 CSV file name events, and it is under records, and under the records, okay, 0th index under S3. Okay, you can find that. Okay, so here is an object, and inside that object there is a key. Okay, now I got the file name of S3. Then after that, now I want to get the data from that S3. So I can go ahead and then create another object like so here if I say here is my response. Okay, I can say S3 and client dot get underscore the object, and so I can use the bucket. Okay, what is the bucket name? So I can specify the bucket name, and I can specify the file name by using the key. Okay, here is I can say S3 underscore file name. Now, so I read all the response from that S3 content, and next what I can do that, okay, I can read the data. Okay, I can go ahead and then I can say response of body. Okay, and you can read the data. Okay, and once the data is read it, then I can use the decode option. Okay, so and I'm decoding it as UTF-8. Okay, and here I'm printing the data. Okay, so now if I want to test the data, I can use this test object. You can click on the test, and here I can modify the bucket name. Okay, my bucket name is let's go ahead and then check that. Okay, what is the bucket name? Okay, go to S3, and inside S3 I need to modify the two areas. One thing is the bucket name, and second one is the file name. So here the bucket name is a tech hub bucket. So I can go ahead and then I can modify the bucket name. Okay, tech hub bucket. Okay, and the below I can specify the name of the CSV file, employees.csv file. Okay, now create this function. Okay, so this is the dummy the request and the request object for the event of S3 put. Okay, here I can say S3 the request. Okay, S3 request, and save this request. And whenever you click on this, okay, I can test that. Okay, click on this test. So below you can find the output of that object. Okay, here if you see that. Okay, so here if you see that the data which is captured, and here is the request object. Okay, test it again. So I'm getting some error, so I don't know that what kind of error. So that's why I'm using it as some try catch exception here. Go here and put this entire code block into inside try catch exception as ERR. Okay, here I can use it as ERR. Now save the changes and then test the changes again. Okay, you can use test. So here if you see that, okay, I'm able to read the data. Okay, here is my data. So the data is in a the comma separated and slash n formatted. And what I can do, slash n is nothing but it is a new row. So and this data I'm going to assign it for the employees, and I can say data dot split slash n. Okay, so here emp in employees, and here I'm going to use print emp. Okay, and now again save the changes and test the changes. Yeah, so data is reading properly. Okay, I can use save and then test the changes. Yeah, so data is reading properly. Now it's time to create a DynamoDB object and then put this data into the DynamoDB. So now let's go ahead and then add a code snippet for DynamoDB. So here I can say DynamoDB underscore table, or maybe DynamoDB DB. So DynamoDB. So here I can say the port 3, and instead of using a client is moreover for reading of the data, and it's some resources, some kind of managing. Like I can insert the data, I can read the data. So that's why I'm not using a client here. I'm using it as a resource, and that resources I'm going to use it. And here I can use it as a DynamoDB, and the below I can specify the table. Okay, so here I can say DynamoDB dot. So inside that I can specify that the table. Okay, what is the table name of your DynamoDB? You can go to the services and find the DynamoDB. So here the name of the table which I have created earlier. So you can go ahead and then check the name of the table. Go to the tables. Here you can find that okay, tech up employees is a table name. You can copy that. You can copy the name of this table. Go to CS3. Go to lambda function, and inside this lambda function you can specify that okay, here is a your table. Okay, now I created an object for the table. Now it's time to actually insert that data into the inside the DynamoDB. So for that inside that, okay, so I have a table. Okay, and so this table data I'm going to put. Okay, and put items. Okay, and inside that, so I'm going to insert this. Okay, so here I'm going to put an item. Okay, one item. So this item I can specify that the ID is the primary key and str of. So here whatever the data I'm getting in the form of comma separated, I can specify that emp dot split and comma separated, and the first element I can get it as ID. Okay, and the second element I can specify it as a name. Okay, and here I can use it as the emp of 1. Okay, and third element I can specify it as a city. Okay, this is I can use it as emp of 2. Okay, now so I have put all these data, and now save the changes. Once you save the changes, then what you can do, and again you can click on the test. Okay, for the dummy result. So here we are getting an error. Okay, so line number 23 here is okay, so here the comma is missing. Now save the changes, test the changes. Okay, so here the data is inserted successfully. Now go to your DynamoDB. Okay, go to DynamoDB, go to the items, and inside items, you can see that, okay, here are the set of items which are there in the DynamoDB. So now let's do some experiment on this. Okay, here is my tech hub hyphen bucket. I'm going to delete this file. Okay, what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I'm going to insert a new file, which a new set of records. Okay, so for that I can go to the file, and here I'm using it as, for example, one, and here I'm using it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can do some kind of additional thing like up to 10 records, and here I'm using it as a Raju and Ramesh, okay, Ajay, Balu, okay, Chintan, okay, Dinesh, okay. So here I'm using it as some kind of random cities, okay, cities, and here I can use it like, for example, Nashik and Mumbai, okay. So these are the set of entries I'm adding that. Okay, now go to S3 and then upload this file. Okay, add this file employees.csv and upload this file. Once you upload this file, what happens? Whatever the records are there in CSV data, so these records automatically will get inserted into the DynamoDB. Okay, now I have uploaded this file. Now go to the DynamoDB. Okay, go to the DynamoDB. Okay, so here you can click on the search, start search. This is how it will capture all the entries from the CSV file, and then it will insert into the DynamoDB. So what are additional changes I have done is I have kept one more try catch exception block here, because so as soon as you are performing any CSV operations here, then what happens? So at the end of each file, if it found any /n, then it will try to identify that, okay, it is an additional row, and when I'm trying to access that elements, okay, it will give the index out of bound error. So that's why, so I'm using the try catch exception. If something, any exception is available, then I'm continuing that loop, okay, instead of breaking that. So as soon as if I kept any CSV file content, okay, it is a new file content, okay, it will insert that new file content. So if I use only only one or two content, for example, here is 1, 2, 3, and if I say hello, and city name is for example USA. So if I save this content data, and then if I again come back to AWS, and then go to S3, and then if I insert that CSV file here, so let's go ahead and then delete the existing CSV file here, and insert that new file. So it will take that file, and then again that file is going to be inserted. Okay, based on our requirement, either we can update the data, or either we can insert and we can maintain always new data. So both can be done based on the requirement. Okay, let's go ahead and then upload the same file. Let's see that, okay, what happened. Okay, copy this file and then upload this data. Once this data is uploaded, okay, so you can go to the DynamoDB. Okay, so and refresh the changes. Okay, so here you can find that the file name, okay, like start a search. So there in the start a search, and then add a filter. Okay, I want to find out, okay, here is ID equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, and start a search. So I forgot to mention one thing here, and you can go to the properties. Okay, as soon as you upload a CSV file, I have to trigger the Lambda function. For that, you can go to the properties, click on the events, and add a new notification here. As soon as I create any object here, and I can use the send to Lambda function, and below I can select the Lambda function here, and then now save the changes. So after that, okay, let's go ahead, and then if I modify any new entries, like for example, if I 456, and here if I say sample, and if I say UK, and if I say like a 789, and it's something like a demo, and here I can say that, okay, Singapore, okay, instead of using it as Singapore, like if I say empty. So save the changes, and now go to the AWS and delete the existing file. Okay, delete the file and then upload a new file here. Upload a new file. Upload a new file and then upload that. So once you upload that file, so then it will automatically trigger a Lambda function based on the event, okay, which we have created. So once this Lambda function is triggered, then from the Lambda function, we already prepared a code snippet for capturing all the CSV file content and then put the CSV file content into the DynamoDB. So here, if you go ahead and then search that, okay, so let's delete this syntax and then search the changes. So here you can find that, okay, so if I do that, okay, so here you can find that USA is inserted, UK is inserted, and MG is inserted, okay. So this is how we can dynamically add the content and then done that. So earlier what happened, so on the Lambda function itself, okay, I clicked on the test button, so that's why, so it captured the data and then it inserted the data. So now this time, so whenever I inserted a new CSV file and the Lambda function will be triggered based on the properties and the added event. So, and because of this event, it will automatically trigger the Lambda function. From the Lambda function, I'm capturing the data and then I'm putting the data into the DynamoDB. So I hope you enjoy the video, and then we come to end of this video. And so I hope you get a chance to work on the DynamoDB and the Lambda function and capture the S3 content on the runtime from that Lambda function and then put that content into DynamoDB. So thanks for watching this video.